Hey folks, I don't know how many takes this video I'll be doing, but this is a video I've been dreading doing for quite a while. That's kind of why I was so adamant on sticking on this path and not ending up like this. But I'm just gonna cut to the chase. I relapsed. And it's kind of obvious looking back on it because I was already in the stages of relapsing, sitting there trying to justify why I was listening to erotic hypnosis stuff on YouTube or looking at pictures or what have you. And I just said basically screw it, I'm relapsing. I'm at that point because I'd had another rip-roaring scream fest fight with my mother, and my father was involved, and then my sister got involved, and it's this whole like being back here deal. I mean, I kind of already in a sense saw it coming because coming back here, and I have to take the agency, I have to take responsibility in many ways because I ultimately made the decision. But you come back to this place where like you're 30 years old, literally like myself, and your parents are wanting you to go back to being some 15-year-old kid who's under their thumb, and it's just basically there to like be like the maid, the servant, the slave, um, and be the fall guy essentially, to take weight off of your father, because your mother's a deadweight alcoholic and your sister's a deadweight druggie, and they're just me all the damn time, and they don't care about your father's needs or your needs, and you end up in that kind of situation. And I see with my entire life with it, right now, like, everything's ground to a halt. When I came back from Morocco, haven't seen my girlfriend for a week, and one of my big regrets of that is that I didn't stay a second week. I just should have, instead of planning things out by taking into consideration my abusive family, but and their supposed needs. But I came back here, I was 180 pounds. I was thinking, oh, I'll do a bunch of cardio, eat a strict diet. I'll be doing that sort of thing. Probably be in San Jose, be in control of my environment and my life and so on. And I'll cut down another 10 to 15 pounds. I'll go down to 170, 165. Punch those numbers into that body fat calculator. I'll be 9 to 11% body fat. Right in that range where I've been aiming to get to. Maybe even try to drop further and get down to 7% or 8% percent body fat, and have that. Oh, and I'll be going and whenever the library's open, or I'll be at my house and I'll be doing all the studying for my classes, so that when I step into the classes this semester, I can get those decent grades, survive the semester, get those decent grades, and I can end the year on a good note, and be setting up another trip to Morocco, this time hopefully strong-arming my dad to go along with me to meet the parents of the girlfriend and talk about getting engaged, And wasn't to be. It wasn't to be. And I'm really sorry, folks, for the ones who, I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but I'm really sorry to those folks like Giza and Alex and Handsome Virgin and 24/7 Betterment and all these other folks. Like, the list goes on. I can't name them all, who stopped by and put some positive comments supporting me. There was that, I think it's Steve's TV 90 days or so, like him stopping by and like, don't give up, you got this, and all that. And then I go do this. I let this all get to me. I get overwhelmed. I give up. I throw in the towel. And I binged yesterday. Did things once today. And the mind starts going, saying like, oh, I should go do that again about this one fantasy I've held for a while or something like that. But I said no. But still, I relapsed. And I understand that my 6.5 months on hard mode, and I think like 8.5 months on quote unquote easy mode, that's not all down the drain, so to speak. I didn't just throw that out the window, so to speak. But, you know, it's kind of like I did my 90 days easy mode, 90 days hard mode, and it's like, okay, what do I do with this, you know, this series? What do I do with everything Nofap wise, you know, because, like, okay, I could get back on the path and get to December and be like, okay, I had one relapse this year, and that would be a major improvement. But by that time I'll be 31, and it's like, what? I'm still having to quote unquote be on Nofap at 31 years of age. I'm trying not to beat myself up, but it's just the perspective I have right now. I feel like my back's up against the wall in so many ways, you know? Like I let my parents and my sister, my whole family just defeat me. Because the way I look at my mother and my sister in particular is they're dead weight. They're not doing a damn thing, you know, pardon my language, they're not doing a damn thing to get their acts together. Yeah, they've had their health problems in life, but it's at the point where they're recovered enough that they could be doing various things to better themselves. You know, they could be helping around the house. They could be, you know, they didn't necessarily have to get a job, but they could be getting work somehow. They could be making money. Legally, cleanly, all that kind of stuff. They could be doing all those things, and they're not. And so my dad gets overwhelmed, and, you know, he looks at me as the fall guy, judging me because I'm a son, not a daughter, based on my utility, what he can get out of me. And I know that anytime he does actually help me financially or so with anything, you know, it's like that saying goes, there's no such thing as a free lunch. There's going to be some sort of obligation attached to that money, even if it's $5 to go buy a lunch or something like that. He's going to expect something in return. Something that I might not be willing to or wanting to, you know, do it in return. Whatever that may be, you know, working on this, slaving away for that, coming back for the summer. I don't know, folks. Feel like I've been at war with them, and, you know, so much of my life has been about trying to cut ties with them, get away from them, get free from them, get out from under of them, and them latching on even harder, you know, hooking onto me even harder and pulling me down further, and doing the same thing to my father, of course. And I can't, I can't, I don't know what I can't do anymore. I don't know what I can't do anymore. The only positive thing I think I've gained from this, really, is that I've realized that if I'm going to truly 100% end this whole PMO addiction, I'm going to have to do whatever it takes to never have to end up back down here again. And that's going to be even more than just financially speaking, because, you know, I can go and try to secure some sort of a job. Maybe I can make enough money in time to pay for school, at least pay for housing. I don't know, you know, what things are going to happen with the relationship. My girlfriend really isn't the problem, but mostly just me reacting in certain ways based on past traumas. But, you know, I have to become ruthless in many ways. I have to become ruthless. I have to become uncaring. I have to get some sort of employment to make money. I have to make it to graduation and really just establish myself. And I have to cut ties with anyone who's going to hold me back or trip me up. And it's kind of like I have to be more like my uncle than my father. And by my uncle, I mean my father's middle brother, the younger of his two older brothers. He had similar situations in his life where in-laws or relatives wanted him to go do things for them, help out, fix this problem, fix that problem, get this person back on track. And there was a time when he tried to do a little bit of that, you know, sitting down with so-and-so and trying to talk them out of bad decisions or what have you. But the thing that he did different than my dad, even myself, was that after he had clearly, you know, stated the case and argued things as best he could and made his effort, he washed his hands of the situation. He walked away. He said, you know, I've done what I could, so-and-so's not going to listen to me, and, you know, they'll have to face the consequences of their actions. And at the time that probably came up to whoever, you know, was as being like uncaring or ruthless or disgusting or horrible. But you look at my uncle's life compared to my father's life, compared to my life at this point, and because he decided to put himself first and by extension, ironically enough, his family, things turn out a heck of a lot better for him. You know, financial situation is great for them for the most part, relatively speaking. And, you know, family life is stable at the very least. I'm sure they probably have their shares of arguments and such and issues, but it's nowhere near as traumatic or screwed up as my family is. But, where am I going from here on out? I know it seems almost kind of pointless because this is a day one video essentially, and it just kind of seems like I said everything about day 30 that I could say, or, you know, the first month, the first 2 months, the first 3 months. But I may just turn this into a, you know, a year of Nofap and just be able to, you know, go with what 24/7 Betterment did, where he counted the relapses more than counting the days, because, you know, if you go from relapsing, I don't know, every week, you know, 52 times in a year to only relapsing, I don't know, 13 times in a year, you know, that's progress there. That's sort of a deal. I may just kind of stick with that and just try to ride out the rest of the year and not relapse anymore. And then hopefully start off next year with the goal of, okay, I've gotten down to only 1 relapse, let's get down to 0 relapses. I think that's just what I'm going to try to do, ride it out and set other goals and make my videos more about those goals than just about Nofap. So, because I know why I relapse. I know why I relapse. I get emotionally overwhelmed, I get all this anxiety, depression, and whatnot, and I feel like I can't do anything about it. And just like, you know, when I've lived down here for extended periods of time, before I moved out, and just, you know, like this relapse, I felt I couldn't do anything about it, you know, because I would have to change my mother, her fundamental nature. I would have to change my father's fundamental nature. I would have to change my sister's fundamental nature, and they just don't care, you know. Their entitled mentality is such that they just expect me to be the fall guy, be the guy who takes one for the team, and if I refuse to do that, I'm a sinner, I'm a criminal, I'm evil, I'm wrong, and I'm going to be punished for it, you know. And how dare you expect a better future or a better life for yourself than the one that we have, you know. So that's why I relapsed, and I'm not necessarily feeling like crying my, you know, eyes out, so to speak, but I'm definitely feeling emotionally burnt out and dead, and I'm just trying to get through the next few days until I get up north. And I know I cannot use this as an excuse to screw up this semester. I can't say, well, I relapsed on the 17th of August, you know, / the 18th of August, 2017, and therefore the rest of my year is shot. I can't be doing that. I have to at least get through the next, 4 months on Nofap, and then I can say I got through a year with only 1 relapse. That's what I gotta do at this point. That's where my bar is at. It's been lowered significantly, lowered way more than I had originally set it for. I was gonna do a completely, you know, porn-free year, masturbation-free year, you know, but that's life. You have to take the good with the bad and make the best of it. So again, I'm sorry, folks, for letting anybody down who was looking up to me or was, you know, betting on me to get through a year, or was, you know, and I'm sorry for those who have, in a sense, wasted time trying to support me and, you know, back me up. But this is where I'm at, and I don't know what my next video might be. It might be 2 weeks from now, it might be a month from now. I have to make it such that it actually has a point. Like I can say, 1 month since the relapse, 2 months since the relapse, and it actually has some value to it, as opposed to just a video every day. Unless it's a video about something other than Nofap, or just about life in general or something like that. But yeah, that's it for now. Again, I relapsed and I'm getting back on the path, so I'll see you folks around. Bye.